Oh, yeah. Let's do a little Friday night jackpot sweat. How about it, boomers? What's going on? It's your boy Rick. Friday night, watching some NBA late slate action. It's a Boom Fantasy jackpot sweat. What's up? Let me know what you're doing. Pop into the chat. Tell me how you're feeling. Look at your entries. Let's see you take down a jackpot tonight. Who's going to get the call? As the mighty dollar climbs to $600 tonight, just $1 to enter, the best value in DFS as it goes. Only 4 questions tonight. Joel Embiid for the NBA main slate. Things were difficult. He popped off. I believe he finished with 34. The Pacers, I think, still got that win though. I don't know. I've been playing Red Dead and working on the NFL tomorrow because there's NFL football on a Saturday. Whoever thought that was a good idea, they're promoted. It's been happening for a while, longer than Thursday, but I'm still excited that it's back. That's how you know the season is actually almost ending, is these Saturday night games. But I'm excited, including the Jets are going to get to play, so some local action for me. And I got these mighty dollar minute videos coming out, getting ready to get you guys set for these single game slates, because that is where jackpots get hit. And so tomorrow I think we can get a jackpot hit because it's two very predictable offenses. You need a funnel. And yards is tough, but if we're going to have two teams that aren't that explosive, don't score a ton of points, but also don't have that many people that touch the ball. So winnable. Tonight, we are tracking Steph Curry. You like my background? It's factory default. Steph Curry's points in the jackpot contest now, chasing $600. Westbrook King is looking at 33 as Curry posts 17 at the half. The third quarter is getting ready to start, so we'll be here for it. And haven't watched any of the game, but Warriors up by double digits, taking care of the young Kings team, and I like this Kings team. I think this Kings team has a lot of potential, but they're not on the Warriors level. It's really just about going up and down, and the Warriors' pace has actually slowed down considerably. Nothing like the Warriors, who are now like last in the NBA in pace. It's actually crazy, but the Warriors aren't going full hyper speed. Their regular season pace is adequate, and they're getting ready for the playoffs. They can move in transition when they want to, but they're a much more mature squad. The Kings just want to go up and down all day. It's a nightmare. The chat is left over from Sunday. What a day that was. We streamed literally during the Miami Miracle, and then the Miami Miracle was almost secondary to a $7,000 jackpot winner. Like, if you asked me what that day would have been about, it would have been about the day Fred 19 won $7,000 from $2 his very first day playing Boom Fantasy. That would have been what that day would have been for me. December 9th, 2018, 12-9. Fred 19 signs up, plays one contest on the early slate, 6-6. Brutal. We made a jackpot recap video about it, but basically the butt kicker missing, sending the Chiefs to overtime was really bad, and that took him out. But actually, Mike Evans' garbage time is what really took him out. It just sucks missing the Lightning, but 4 of 5, he at least would have had $5. But Tyreek Hill caught 2 passes in overtime. You can't. What are you gonna do when Tyreek Hill wants to turn around and run a hitch? Like, you gotta respect the streak. It's such garbage. So Tyreek Hill, hey, what's going on, Riley? Bolt up, let's go. That's what I'm saying, man. Huge win. We're gonna get there, but yeah, Tyreek Hill had those 2 huge catches, and then Mike Evans garbage time ball against the Saints. The Bucks were down 2 scores, and they're moving it with a minute left. Prevent defense is the scourge of Boom Fantasy jackpot hits. It is so frustrating. Actually, it almost gave Packers Thielen a mighty dollar win on Sunday Night Football. But other than that, it has been very detrimental to a lot of our chases this season. Uber frustrating. Actually, Josh Gordon's was on a meaningless 1-yard catch that was a couple weeks ago. That sucked. That wasn't even garbage time. But in general, not great. So hopefully Fred's getting in on his second Sunday of Boom action, but he doesn't have to wait that long for football. So he's got 2 games tomorrow. I love it. But yeah, the Chargers, amazing win on Thursday. Where do you put them in the AFC? because I'll put them ahead of the Patriots 8 days a week. So the AFC power rankings become much, much muddier if the Chargers are good. I think the Chiefs, despite their obvious highlight reel plays, I mean, they've lost to the Rams. They lost to the Patriots, and they lost to the Chargers. It's 3 of the best teams in the league. But you got to beat one of those teams if you're going to be... This is like the Panthers problem. Like, you could beat up on the bad teams all you want, but what do you do? They're going to play the Saints twice in 3 weeks, Carolina. What are you going to look like? And they're heading in at probably their worst time, so not a great time. But tomorrow's games are super interesting. Hey, Riley, let me ask you about this scenario. The Browns win out. Pittsburgh has to play New England this week. And one more tough game that I can't remember. And then Baltimore has to play the Chargers with a playoff spot on the line. You could have a scenario where the Browns and Ravens are playing, and the Browns could be playing for a share of the division on the last week of the season. Playoff bound, let's go. Will this year be the year? Honestly, I wish the defense was a little bit healthier. If Perryman was healthy, if Leggett was fully healthy, man, that would be so sick, because their defense is already playing like monsters. I mean, they have a great team, man. Melvin Gordon, he can take a couple weeks off. I need him back next week for fantasy. How great is he, by the way? Melvin Gordon thanking... Let's pull this tweet up. This is just beautiful stuff. If you haven't seen this, Melvin Gordon has missed 2 weeks, the fantasy football season-long playoffs. Will you just look at this, man? To my fantasy owners who lost without my help, I'm sorry. Crunch time in these playoffs, and I couldn't come through. It's amazing. He is truly great. And a great dude, because he gets it. He gets it. He knows it leads to jersey sales. He knows that people... Dude, you can't just get rich off of Chargers fans. You need to get Browns fans. You need to get Jaguars fans to be Melvin Gordon fans. And fantasy's the way to do that. Like, players who hate fantasy don't get it. Or they're like Richard Sherman, where they don't count for fantasy football. But Melvin Gordon gets it. You know, he's not going to be like anti-Gurley. Like, Melvin Gordon will still slide to end a game and take winning over touchdowns like Gurley or Brian Westbrook, date myself. But to acknowledge the power of fantasy for your game, for the culture of the game. Don't shun it, man. It's so big. Let's check some Zachpots. We had a full defense. It's not a wrap. I mean, it's not a wrap. You got to go to the AFC. You have 0 home field advantage. You have the worst home field advantage, which doesn't necessarily make you the best road team. Your kicking game's always a mess. Don't get so arrogant. Win one game. Chargers fans getting all riled up. Unbelievable. Who's cashing the millie? Giorgio. Yo, Giorgio's an animal. I love this guy. Doesn't answer his phone. We call him for jackpot sweats, but he's so out here. Klay Thompson doing work on points. By the way, Mighty Dollar minutes. Listen, I don't get it. I don't win the Mighty Dollar every day in those videos, but I'm hitting a couple. Just about every day. Steven Adams. That's 2 for Rick, by the way. Russell Westbrook competing. Look at D-Bet Draymond Green. So annoying. Draymond's not a D-Bet player. But the numbers are there for D-betting. Danny Green's got 4 threes already. Pooh. Paul George has 7 points. Dude, Paul George does not get my money. He can be so frustrating. But Giorgio, get cashing, man. Let's get one more. Let's get Westbrook on this assist train. Big second half, and we'll cash some milli entries. I want to see you cash. Here we go, Hogan. Isaiah is going for his second Mighty Dollar win. How about that? D-Bet Draymond Green is really taking care of business, but hey, he's listening to your boy on ones and twos. And pretty close on this, too. This is pretty much what I said in the Mighty Dollar Minute. So if you don't think I know what I'm talking about, Isaiah knows what I'm talking about. So how about that? Get a look at this Golden State Sacramento game. Thompson's shooting too, so you can add to that question. We out here. But I really like tomorrow's games as far as a boom jackpot entry is concerned. I think that the Browns-Broncos game is really good because the Broncos have no offense except the run game. And that makes it pretty easy to work with. Like if Case Keenum's going to throw for 150 yards, that's cool. But what's that going to mean that's not going to help you in a boom contest because Baker Mayfield's completing 80% of his passes and throwing 66-yard darts. So there's nothing Case is going to be completely outclassed by Baker Mayfield tomorrow on his home turf. The only thing that I'm going to be nervous about is the Browns getting a big comeback win against Carolina, and then they got to go. It is still a short week on the road, altitude. Although, funny thing about altitude that I learned this year, I don't even remember where I learned it. I think I learned it from Mike Lombardi on a podcast. But so altitude sickness and like playing to the altitude. If you are training at high altitude for like 3-4 days, that's not going to do you any good. You're not going to acclimate to the elevation. Like say, oh, we're going up a couple days early to adjust to the elevation. Curry just hit another 3. That's not a real thing. You body can't develop extra hemoglobin, like to help you more oxygenated blood. Your body can't compensate that fast. It would take a couple weeks. You need to go up right when the game is happening. Go in, play the game, leave. That's what I think most teams do. I just thought that was interesting. But the only question that really is tough in that contest is Phillip Lindsay, Nick Chubb. Both those guys are so good. I'm just saying there'd be a lot more wins if the team could just stay healthy. Yeah, but like Riley, like Klay Thompson for 3, Bricky, got a rebound, got a layup. Oh, Klay, win the question for my guy. Think about all the games that the Chargers have lost by less than a score with missed field goals. Let's do this, dude. Let's do this with me. Here you go. All right, bigger so you can see it. This is a 10-point loss. This is a 12-point loss. This is a 1-point loss. A 1-point loss with a mixed extra point. Let's just file that one away. 2017. That's a 3-point loss. Did we miss a field goal at the end? You bet we did. 0 for 1, Young Ho Koo. Miami Dolphins, 17-19. Lost by a kick. Did we miss a kick? Young Ho Koo. We missed 2 of them. Could have won that one, huh? 24-10 doesn't count. Eagles by 2. I don't think it's about health, man. Let's see a missed kick here. Young Ho Koo. Oh, 1 of 1. All right. I'm sorry about that one. That one was not my. But it's another one-score game they lost in. 21-13, one-score game. Jacksonville. Do we miss any field goals here against Jacksonville? Now we got Josh Lambo. We missed an extra point, and the game went to overtime. So, oh no, it didn't. Wait, yes, it did. Yep. So technically, that is the same thing as taking the loss on that. And he lost by 17 to the Chiefs. So right off the bat, that's 4 games that don't matter about injury. It matters about. Did I not put the screen? Okay, I did. All right. It's less about injury and more about, oh man, we need a good kicker. So if Badgley could get his act together, the Chargers have always been a good team that's been haunted by bad mistakes consistently and perpetually. That's why it's cool to see some close game victory positive regression for Phillip Rivers. Badgley's been getting it done, man. Badgley's been getting it done. At Miami, you get into those pressure scenarios, man. That's a pressure kicker. Which is funny considering Aguayo was such a massive, insane bust. But listen, the Chargers are as good as everybody else. And with Joey Bosa, they get that key component, the ability to generate pressure with 4 rushers. That is the sauce to winning playoff football games. If you can just rush 4 dudes and force the quarterback to release the ball in less than 3 seconds, dude, you are cooking with gas. You're the Giants, basically. That's the Giants' defense, not spectacular. They could get to the passer quick with 4 dudes. And then, God forbid, if they brought 6, you were crumbling. You're not expecting it. You're expecting, how am I going to beat the swim move, up, dip, rush? Do I step up in the pocket? I'm going to have to roll. And then they just rush the outside backer. And you're just Tom Brady. When Tom Brady does the crumple, whoo, flex. So, listen. The Chargers have that now. The Chiefs don't even really have that. There's not a lot of teams that have that. That's what surprised me about the Patriots getting rid of Chandler Jones because, yeah, he was going to have to make a lot of money, but they never have that. They just rely on advanced coverage concepts. You think Belichick thinks that's like a caveman way to win on defense? To just mash the quarterback with 4 guys? Probably looks down on it. Prefers a complex zone system, zone read system. Yeah, I'm sorry, Riley. Hoku, he's reliving the Hoku days. Hoku 757. Man, that is so sad. But now the Chargers can be the team they were always destined to be. The problem is they're just the worst home team. They have no home field advantage. It's irrelevant. Like, imagine if the Bears get home field advantage, how big that is for the Bears compared to the Rams. Like, the Seahawks. Like, your home field has to mean something. The Chargers play in a soccer stadium. It's insane. And they deserve better. They deserve way better. Way better. Hair's insane. Badger's better than the last 5 kickers we have. I agree. I completely agree. Badgley is very good. He's going to have a long future with the Chargers. How he'll do in the playoffs with like all the pressure, that's like a totally different thing. Because that's a whole nother animal. That's a Blair Walsh breaker that wrecks careers. So it really is about when the time comes. You know, Nick Novak was a good regular season kicker. Riley, you know. All right, Westbrook. No more points for Curry. Don't really think about it. Oh, he made like a fade entry. Because the real entry looks fine. Westbrook's picking it up. If the Warriors blow out, Draymond will sit in a little bit. The Thunder game is close. Thunder game could get OT, could get some extra assists. In that case, yeah, that's good. $11 more points. Probably gonna get more than that, right? Here we are, mid-third. He's been hot, man. Curry's been getting it done. It's unlimited range. How do you cover somebody who can step back at 25 feet? Makes it really tough. Joel didn't listen to me. But at least a lot of people felt good about Clay, and Clay is smashing that question, so that makes me happy. And then the Adams, Nurkic just grabbed a board, so that question's officially up for grabs as we move into the next phase of this late slate. Nurkic is right there. Or I just combined Nurkic and Jokic, which I'm sure their mothers have done. Hogan's at this mighty double too, throwing Buddy Hyde out there. Healed. Buddy healed. That's what it is. It's healed. There's a place you can look up, like for journalists, you can look up every player in the NBA, and it will link you to a video clip of an interview of that player saying their name. So it's like straight from there. It's not written down. It's like, hi, my name's Buddy Hield. And from there, you can be like, oh, that's how they pronounce it. That's got to be how it is. And that's very useful. I like that thing. And I've used it for Buddy Hield several times because I keep forgetting. I'm sorry, buddy. Yeah. So if the playoffs were now, the Chargers would get the 3 seed now? I don't know. The AFC playoff picture is kind of messy, right? The Chargers and the Chiefs have double-digit wins. I don't believe anybody else does. Let's look at some playoff pictures. Updated AFC playoff picture. What do you say, boys? Nope, that's going to autoplay a video. We've been down this road before. There we go. Chiefs 1 seed, Pats 2 seed. Well, the worst part about the Chargers winning, Riley, is it opens the door for the Patriots to get home field advantage, which would be terrible. But other than that, it's good for everybody involved. The Chargers have clinched a playoff spot as the 5th seed and are now the 5th seed despite having tied for the best record in the NFL. That's just the way that football rules are messy when one division is stacked. And then the Saints and Rams are both in and division champs. Well, let's finish the AFC first. AFC, the Texans should be safe. The problem is their compatriots in the division are exactly 2 games behind. And the Steelers are just sliding. And the Ravens and Steelers are just battling it out every day, every week for ground. And I love that the Bengals aren't out of it. I love that the Falcons aren't out of it. The Giants are legitimately not out of it. Yeah. Nick Foles is out of it. Josh Johnson is out of it. That's what makes the playoff scenario so crazy, though, is like, I don't see any of these teams in the NFC giving up their standing. Any of these top NFC teams. But it's amazing the teams that are eligible to take their place. But they're just so far ahead. Like, it's really just about the last spot. The Vikings would have, the Seahawks would have to free fall to fall out of the playoffs in the last couple of games. They have to finish 8-8. And the Vikings are the ones that are just clinging on. And the tie is hugely important here because without the tie, they're in a 4-way record tie for that last playoff spot. The tie gives them a half-game lead. So they could still drop a game, and the tie is just going to be so massive as we look through the NFL standings. Curry can shoot from anywhere. Yeah, Riley's so stupid. Here come the Kings, though. The Kings had a really nice run here, and they were down 12 at the half, and they are now down just 9. So they cut it. I don't know. They were celebrating. I thought it was strange, and then it turns out it was for that. There wasn't a lot of movement. The other game tomorrow, Browns Broncos is nice, but Texans Jets is going to be cool because we're going to get to see Deshaun Watson against a bad defense. I always like that. I think Deshaun Watson's insanely good. I wish he had another burner like Will Fuller, but QT didn't even travel with the team. So the Texans are investing all these resources into their skill position players, and they're not getting on the field when you combine Foreman in that group. That stinks. But they got like 5 tight ends that they get in there, and they have Hopkins, obviously. And Hopkins has this insane split. Like, after he has a game with 50 yards or less, he explodes. And I talk about it in the Mighty Dollar Minute. He had 2 touchdowns the last time this happened. So I expect him to get force-fed and to have no equal. They'll move him around and get him in optimal coverage. And the Texans should romp because they have a good run defense. And they'll just make Sam Darnold try to hit the bombs to Robbie Anderson. That's really how the Jets were going to function this year anyway. And that'll probably be how it works from here on out. Can Sam Darnold hit Robbie Anderson in stride from 40 yards out? If yes, the Jets have a plus EV chance of winning the football game. That's how the New York Jets are going to operate. That's cool, though. That works. I'm trying to get a grip of this Warriors-Kings game. I have no idea what's happening. I think Kevin Durant committed a turnover. The Kings have the second fastest pace in the NBA, other than the Hawks, who also got their doors blown off tonight. Like, again, in another high pace. I think it was 128, 110 or something. Willie Cauley-Stein has a forehead tattoo, like up here. I hate that. That makes me never want to pick him in a question again. That's so disappointing. Oh, Kevin Durant just throws his arms up and gets a foul call. Yikes. Oh, man. The best part about streaming is getting a Twitch chat with your matches, with you, any of your, I say matches because I watch so much soccer streaming, but it's everything. Do the Chiefs have a first round bye? Yeah, those first 2 teams will have first round byes. So that'll be the Patriots and the Chiefs right now, and the Saints and the Rams. So that's the thing, is like the Chargers, for how good they are, because they're in the same division as the Chiefs, they have to play on wild card weekend against the 6th best team in the AFC, which could be the Ravens or the Steelers. Like, yeah, they beat the Steelers, but you don't want to play the Steelers again. We remember the first half of that game when the Steelers did not show up, and maybe the Steelers won't put a linebacker on Keenan Allen who's dealing with a hip pointer, and then that game's probably a little different. So it sucks, but that's the way NFL is. You have 2 games to break a tiebreaker. They played Mahomes week 1. They got shellacked, but then everybody else did for about 3-4 weeks to get used to it. Still salty over Kareem Hunt and Keenan Allen Kelce. Well, first of all, I called Kelce multiple times in the Mighty Dollar Minute, and then in the comments of the Mighty Dollar Minute. I said Kelce wasn't going to have a good night. His splits against the Chargers were so bad. That's the best. He had 60 yards. It's the best game he's ever had against the Chargers. Okay? Keenan Allen got hurt. That's just football. We can't do anything about that. He was obviously going to have a great game. He was obviously going to get so many targets that went to Mike Williams instead, which is horrible because Mike Williams was not picked by anybody in a jackpot contest. How could you pick Mike Williams over Keenan Allen? Sheer workload. Nothing we could do, man. He got hurt. That's what happens. That stinks. It made the running back question pretty easy, though, and we still managed to get it wrong. Justin Jackson didn't look that good. Damian Williams looked way better than he actually is. If I'm a Chargers fan, I'm concerned about how bad you were able to cover backs out of the backfield. The screen game defense was abysmal. Durant, Triple. Who's that? That's not Durant. Jordan Bell triple? No, Jordan Bell assist to Durant triple, and then they close up Jordan Bell. For some reason, nobody cares. But we need some more. We need one more, nice little burst out of Curry. And if he can get into the 30s, or even the high 20s, some of these jackpots can start popping off. Oh, the rebound question is a mess. Jokic just took the lead over Adams. But the whole group, look at this thing. The whole rebound group, whoops. The whole rebound group is 2 boards between the entire group. Like, come on, that's a mega sweat. Shoutouts to Joel. That is brutal. Hogan's got one down here. Like, it doesn't matter who you picked for this question right now. Everyone's got a chance to win it. That's a boom schwitz if I've ever seen one. Literally anybody can follow their own shot and take that question away. Westbrook's still battling. Look at this one, too. Kyle Lowry resting tonight? Or just not passing? That's okay. More for us. Westbrook can chase here. That game's not in hand. Thunder are down 4. When the Thunder... See, I would rather the Thunder be up 4 because the Thunder are down 4. Russ is like, just let me get a dunk here. Or just let me bury a 3 here. And that's how the Thunder are getting big holes, but it's also how Russ gets his numbers up. Progressive jackpot check. My boy Clay repping the Mighty Dollar Minute. Oh. Danny Green. What was Danny Green? Oh, he was a C-bet. That sucks. C-bets are impossible to figure out, man. The volatility on C and D players, and usually B players too, can make this tough. But jackpots are not for the faint of heart. Jackpots are not the feature at Boom. You grind, you win tournaments, you win heads-ups, you build your bankroll, and then every once in a while you sprinkle into the jackpot because the number grows. If you make jackpots your whole life, you're going to find Boom is a very frustrating place to play. Build a streak. Build several streaks. Sell half of them. I picked Williams for touchdowns but not yards. But that's a sound, Riley, that play is grounded in logic because you'd think that the yards would come in burst plays and then Williams would finish from close. But in reality, the screens and the throws out of the backfield were so good. Is that on Derwin James? I don't know. I think he's great in coverage. Allen would have gone off 100%. Allen almost had that one-handed touchdown before everything. Unreal. It was rough. But it was cool that the game lived up to its expectations. Thursday Night Football, we've had some real bangers this year. We've talked about it multiple times this year, just how good and handpicked the schedule was for Fox. So props to them. They slam dunked on the season. They got everything they wanted from most of the matchups. And even without the running backs, that game was fine. And now we move on. I think we're done for Thursday Night Football for the season. I think that's it. Now we get Saturday night games, and that's Monday and Saturday night. Ooh, Saturday Night Football. 2 games. What's the schedule tomorrow? Please tell me there's like a day-ish game. I think there's bowl games too. Oh, 4:30 Texans Jets. We love it. 4:30 and 8:20 like Sunday Night Football. Ah! Nothing better than having a football game end and another football game begin. Wowzer. Okay, so also there's bowl games tomorrow. Yo, love it. Louisiana Raging Cajuns at Tulane Green Wave in the Cure Bowl. The Cure Bowl. Robert Smith. North Texas, Utah State. These are all the little teams I liked betting throughout the year. They all go head to head, and I get conflicted and bet on the wrong team. 100%. I love betting on North Texas and Utah State and Arizona State. Not Arizona State, they were bad. And Fresno State, Middle Tennessee, and Appalachian State. Bet on all those teams this year. They're all playing tomorrow. That's awesome. So bowl games from noon to 9 and playoff games from 4 on playoff football. So we go live at the end of the Jet game and come back. Am I double streaming right now? Nope. Just breezing through the schedule. That's fantastic. Got a lot of eliminateds, and I hate it. Jokic with a big surge in rebounds. Frustrated, but if you got him, you got him. But the low totals for Curry have a lot of players eliminated right now. Embiid went for 40. Ew. Curry's got 29, and we're still in the third quarter. End of the third quarter. So, yeah, he's going to end up with a huge number. That's going to bust it. Another night, another jackpot. We're going to go up to 650 probably tomorrow for the mighty dollar. That's lucrative. We're going to hit that on NFL Sunday at the minimum. Brown's mighty dollar is very minimal. Dude, I've been saying, that's what I said. Check the mighty dollar minute. I totally agree. I don't know who you like for receiving yards, but I'm right there with you. I think that is a very winnable contest. I think there's good edge in both of the single game contests. Yeah, it was the final game. Yeah, it was the final Thursday night game. It was a cracker of a Thursday night schedule. But, yeah, we'll talk more about that tomorrow. I think I want to go live during the day, maybe. I don't know. I want to keep going. We're going to push the live streaming and try to up the ante, push the limits, more discussions, do some giveaways, and ultimately make the Boom experience better. But there's nothing better than giving away a jackpot. That's what we call optimal. So, not tonight, dear, as many a man will hear. As we approach the new year, have no fear. Why am I rhyming things? It's getting late. Let's call it. I'm getting delirious. It's your boy Rick. There's another Boom Fantasy live jackpot sweat. Curry's going off. That's going to do it for us. I'm going to watch the fourth quarter of this game. Maybe not. Maybe I'm going to eat some ice cream and play Red Dead Redemption. Who knows? But either way, I'll be back. I have videos posting in the water cooler shortly for the Saturday football games. And might do some other stuff for basketball. Maybe like a best picks. And keep it going. And we'll get cranking into Sunday, week 15, fantasy playoffs. Maybe we'll do a day stream and answer some questions. Crank it up. Crank the intensity. More action at Boom. Can't go wrong. Right, guys? Be good. Thanks for hanging. Always appreciate it. And enjoy your night. And I'll probably see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Miss the button.